My corny thing is the only thing that can beat Ethan Ewing at J Bay and is himself.
Welcome back. The insiders are back again. It's myself and Daz as always. We are back. Big week of surfing just gone down in competition land and in non-competition land. Quite a bit to talk through. So let's crack on. How are you, Daz?
I'm pretty good, Matty. Before we kick into Burleigh, I just want to give the world of surfers and audio nauts a little bit of an insider action on when you've got a local peak pumping and you turn up and there's 10 ripping groms out in the water. If you're not prepared to get amongst it, don't paddle out.
That's a very, very good uh, kind of hit up for people. I had the same yesterday. It was really small here, but there was a little pulse of swell, and there's a spot, and I knew that there was like a junior coaching kind of like day there, not official, but like I was like, if I go, it's just going to be rammed with kids just dropping in on me. So swerved it, but had a really fun surf tonight actually. Little surprise one, surf line. Surfline showed nothing, but I just checked the cam, saw it, and got eyes on, and was like, "Yeah, go." Had a real fun hour and a half. Water's warming up, so sweet with that.
Sick.
But we'll chat about that. But while it's fresh, Burley, what did you think, Daz?
I thought Burleigh was exactly what the WSL needed. I think it started off a little bit, I'm not going to say lackluster, but it was small, it was complicated. Um, but there was heaps of performance surfing, and contrary to, oh, actually, no, not contrary, because remember I said I didn't think an outsider would win. Obviously, Julian Wilson, as a wild card, made the final. Toledo won. He was a favourite. Um, I don't really think, in retrospect, when you see the talent level he's got, that Julian Wilson's an outsider. He can obviously match it with Tour, and for some reason, he kind of looks like he surfs heats better than his early days. I think that's just a case of he's got nothing to lose and he's got a lot of experience.
Yeah, I also thought he had a bit of a, in a good way, a bit of an attitude towards the end of the event as well. Like a little bit of like a an attitude a bit like Morgan has, where he's like, "Come at me!" Like it was like he was a bit like it was like fired up. He was like, "I'm not here to be your mates. I'm here to blow you out of the water, and this is my like, especially Australia. He's like, this is my wave. Like you're gonna have to beat me and stuff." But yeah, I thought it was sick to see Julian do what like a massive highlight for me was his surfing throughout the whole event. Um, I thought the event was really good, except for my fantasy team got absolutely obliterated in the round of 32. Just got like literally blown up and wasn't good. But many, many, many highlights. Obviously, Julian, massive highlight. We'll talk about him a little bit more. Morgan again, Morgan Siblick, massive highlight for me. Steph looked really, really good. Um, For me, Erin Brooks was a real highlight as well. I thought she surfed amazingly on her backhand. Um, yeah, and I thought the crowd on the finals day, especially for the final, was really sick.
Burleigh's an incredible amphitheatre, the way it is on the point there. They've had a few events there. Uh, it's really one of surfing's iconic spot. As much as Snapper, it was more than Snapper 25 years ago because Snapper really changed into the Superbank with the sand pumping. It was always a pretty consistent wave, but it was nothing on what it came in the years after the sand pumping. So at the time, I think Burley was more of the uh, was the prime wave. So that was super. It's super interesting to see it come back. And I read from Steve Shearer, who's an incredible writer on SwellNet, how Steph needs to rethink her. positioning, blah blah blah. Aaron Brooks, best backhand serving ever. And I watched the heat. I thought it was really good. I think her backside's incredible. She gets pretty upset. But, I mean, I think it's a bit of a stretch to say it's the best backhand surfing ever. And I think, if anything, that sort of surf there suits her like no one else because she's little. She's got an incredible backhand style. You can see her winding up a little bit like she's got from all that wave pool training. She's small. She's barrel savvy, and but not all the waves on tour are like that. And
Def,
and
definitely,
Steph's 2.7s was still incredibly well surfed waves and would have beat anyone else. I think would have beat
yeah.
Betty Lou with those 2.7s.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with both things that Steve Shearer said there because I don't think Steph needs to rethink anything. I think Steph was, like you see some people come back and struggle. She was competing and she had the hardest run. Like if you think about, obviously she went in as a wild card. She's drawing the top. Like she had Katie twice, then Erin. They're like, especially Katie, obviously top seed, top two-time world champ or whatever she is, one-time world champ. Um, and favorite this year. Definitely not that. And I 100% agree with you. That wave, the way when it was really cuppy, that wave really suits what Erin's used to with the wave pools and other waves, like her at Snapper last year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Uh,
perfect for her, that sort of surf.
yeah, and I think she's way better on her backhand than she is on her front, like the front side, in terms of when she goes front side, her turns do look quite small, compared to say like a Gabby Bryant on her front, or like Steph or Katie.
Yeah, well, she
But
is small compared to
yeah,
Gabby Bryant. But saying that, what he did actually finally allude to is that Steph wouldn't be able to match her at Fiji, which I 100% agree with. Unless, I can't see her doing it at this stage of her career. She went and sat at Fiji or even Chopu or places like that and just really worked on it where
mm.
maybe she just doesn't care. She doesn't have to care about that. It depends on some people got drive for different things. She just seems to have a little bit of a drive in a different direction, I think, Steph, as opposed to uh, fulfilling her version of creativity, which is more
Yeah, and
front side perfection, I
I
guess.
think I completely understand where the cloud break thing is going, but then on the same hand, no one's sitting there going, yeah, but if you put Steph out at J Bay against Erin, Erin gets blown out of the water, which is the truth. Like Steph would cook her, like Steph would absolutely demolish her at J Bay. Like,
So Toledo, Julian Wilson, 8 foot Chopu.
I mean, Julian wins it every day of the week.
Who's your $200 on?
Julian,
Yeah. So Toledo's not going to retire because of that.
no. Hey,
Horses for courses, which is why the next year's world title's better again.
while we're there with that part of it, Julian versus Felipe final. That nine, I don't want to cook the judges too hard. Like, I don't think there was major issues throughout the whole comp, but that nine that they gave Felipe in the final is the most overscored wave this year by a long, long way. That was
That was so weird.
so weird.
I looked at it and wondered if they hadn't made a mistake on the video because apparently they didn't even call it during the live heat.
Yeah, it's just like Julian. There was like 10 minutes to go, or 5 minutes to go, and Julian gets his wave and he knocks off like five turns. And the first three turns are like big, powerful turns. And then he finishes the wave and he got like an 8-4 or something. And I was like, yeah, that's probably about right. But like then you go look at the 9-7 and Julian's was better and
9.07. It's not
9-0.
a 9.7.
But
Big difference. Let's say it's a
yeah,
9.
the nine, it just wasn't a nine. And I just can't see how, like, I'm not saying Felipe didn't win the final. When if you watch the final without scores, I think maybe he did win, but just. But the nine is not a nine.
It was a weird score. It was a weird score. I was a weird final. I would have put if I was in that judging seat, I probably would have given it to Julian. Is it because I'm from Sunshine Coast and he's from Sunshine Coast, and I've just got an inherent systematic bias, maybe, but I just kind of like the surfing he was doing better, even though Felipe was really an event winner. So he
Yeah.
won it. He did great, and it was going to happen. And now because that's my job as a world class podcaster, did some really extensive research this morning by going onto WSL, it's a website about surfing, and looked at the event schedule. Next event's Margaret's, Toledo's won it. The event after is J-Bay, Toledo's won it. The event after is Brazil, Toledo's won it. The event after is Tahiti, Toledo can't get
No,
through a
isn't
heat.
you missed you missed Trestles as well.
Trestles, Toledo's
Yeah.
won it. So there's won the world title there. So he can, uh, within reason, win 4 out of the next 5 events. So there's a really good chance he's going to be in the final five, and which will be good. I'd love to see him in the final five, to tell you the
Yeah,
truth.
but
And then I'd love to be 8 foot cloud break.
I do think this
He's,
year there's a
he
lot more.
might go insane at cloud break. What do we know?
He might, but I also think this year, like when you go through those events, if I'm realistic, I don't see him winning at Margaret's at all. If it's like a good swell, like
Yeah, no, neither do I.
the year he won, it wasn't obviously a good swell. And then, yeah, obviously J Bay, he probably will go good at, but depending on his like, I think like the competitors this year is so tight. Like if he draws, if he draws like Sammy Pupo or Leo or even like Conor O'Leary at J-Bay last year,
I'll be
the
backing
year before.
Leo. I'll be backing Leo against him. Not as a
Yeah,
favourite, but he'll give it to him, man. Leo
yeah,
surfs J Bay incredibly. And like you said, Conor O'Leary, I think he's surfing with unbridled confidence.
yeah. And the way that the draws are going to work out is even like Al Cleland, like
Pretty good.
very, very good. So I think this year that the playing field, a bit like I said, my fantasy team got decimated. It's because really, at the moment, on the men's side especially, anyone can beat anyone. You know,
Yeah. I
like
don't know if anyone can beat Ethan Ewing that good. Um,
in
J
the
Bay. Can I say something corny?
one sec, in the form he's in, Geordie Smith is probably
Hey,
favourite
yep,
at J-Bay. But anyway, yeah,
yep,
what's
yep.
your corny thing?
My corny thing is the only thing that can beat Ethan Ewing at J Bay and is himself,
Yeah, that's true though.
which is what we've seen.
You
It's
know,
just I can't believe he got so skunked at
I know.
Burleigh, but then again, it maybe doesn't necessarily suit him either, even though it did,
Yeah.
honestly.
The worst thing at Burleigh for me was, and it wasn't a bad thing as such, but I really wanted Liam O'Brien to keep going. He was surfing so good,
Ah, surfing so
so good,
good.
and the crowd was so good for his heats. And then, to be fair, Kanoa surfed really well against him, and it was a good heat. But I just wanted Liam to go a little bit further.
He's
Um,
so reliable. He's so good, Kanoa. He knows what he's doing. He's one of those people that's so confident that it backs himself. He doesn't seem to get flustered.
yeah.
Question. Hand jive, Betty Lou.
Well, you know, I think she surfed well all events.
Just can anyone throw those arms up like Betty Lou?
No, I don't think so.
Double arms up in the air when she goes for her frontside snack, but she still sends a spray to the sky. Now I'm starting to. I've got reverse psychology working on myself, and actually liking those arms to the fact that back in the day, everyone had their own individual style. Now, if you pulled up at the beach anywhere in the world and you saw Betty Lou surfing, you'd go, "Hey, is that Betty Lou Sakura?"
Yeah, true.
Huh?
Very true.
And she can pull into a 10-foot backdoor pit.
Yeah. And talking about being world-class podcasters and knowing stats and stuff, again, both sides, men's and women's, there's not been a double winner this year again,
Oh, sick.
which I think is pretty cool. And Betty Lou is like the way it's worked out on the women's side, there's pretty much one person getting cut this year now, which is hilarious.
Okay, so
So if
that
you're,
was Sally who made the
yeah,
final. I had a look. She's still down the bottom, but there's Joanne Defay underneath her and that. Are they going to give her a wild card?
no. So according to where I'm at with it, with the women, Joanne and Joanne and Tatty are like
Oh,
half
that's right. They
up.
So Sally would, within reason, requalify, and then one of them two will be fighting for a wild card.
But at the moment, Sally's the only person who gets cut.
Still, even with those other two out.
Yeah, because there's three people that fall off this
Oh,
year in
okay,
women.
so she's still out unless she smashes it at Margie's, which she could.
Yeah.
The fact she made the final was already pretty good. She got past, I don't know how she got past Aaron Brooks. I didn't see that one. Um, okay, well, bye bye, Pearlie. It was an incredible comp. Hey, is Julian Wilson getting more coverage for his own brand than Ryan Callahan, who he just signed up?
Yeah, definitely. Especially now, like Julian's and Ryan's probably going to be off tour with his having a baby and stuff. And also before we leave Burleigh, anyone check it out. I sent it to Darren, but there is a video of Julian Wilson the night of the final, after he's obviously celebrating and stuff, unlocking his bike and riding it home, and he's still in his rashy, and it's like all time. It's really funny.
I'll
Uh,
see if I can see that.
I sent it to you on Instagram, but
Hey, and saying that, he lives in Newcastle now. Ryan's in Newcastle. They're really good mates. Julian's an insane natural footer. Ryan's collectively between me and myself, and I've read a lot of writers. I even remember seeing a comment from Chloe Andino saying it was an injustice that he doesn't get more recognised. Top five goofy footer in the world in any conditions. He's still a good guy to have on your brand, isn't he? If
very
he's there
good.
close to you at home, he can still send him on photo shoots and everything
Yeah,
because the brand collectively, Riviera, I've got a feeling that it's past its part, and maybe now it's still alive, this brand.
yeah,
I've got a feeling it's going to get stronger.
it could do. And also, I was thinking about this earlier. Actually, when I was walking the dog, Ryan is one of the only people on tour that I think comes off tour and becomes and goes into free surfing and would probably like get clip after clip. Like if you think like what Solly Bailey done and stuff like that, if Ryan done something like that, it would be unreal. Like
Wouldn't it?
be unreal. He's like I don't think the tour. I think on tour you get to see Ryan at 40%. I
Yeah, I
think
agree.
he's
I agree.
so so good.
I agree. You put him in anywhere, backside. He's got that rubber man backside, front side tube thing. He's a nice guy. He's tall. He looks aesthetic. There's so much that can be done with him marketing wise, surfing, that it's not funny. And we'll
Yeah.
see. Like, fingers crossed because it looks like he's definitely off tour. Free surfing world, Matt. I want your opinion on Emio, however you say his name,
Zermatt.
latest Barrel Fest.
Well, along with it being absolutely psycho, the waves he gets, like absolutely psycho waves. He broke his back this winter. Like the guy is mad. Like he's coming off like a huge injury and then just I mean, that wave I wouldn't even want to be close to it. Like and what a wave. The way he surfs it as well, just incredible.
So that's why I wanted to bring it up. There's a really, really incredible and sad film um, called The Alpinist out there, and it's about this guy. I forget his family name, Jean-Marc. He's a free climber. Um, he free soloed mountains with ice. Like the pick, there's this scene in it where he's hanging one-handed from an ice pick up in this crevice. And in the meantime, he's getting a rope from behind his back, just hanging from one arm, scratching himself,
Really?
changes arms and everything. And they try and document him. They try and follow him. And halfway through the documentary, he disappears from the journalists that are following him. And then he reappears and they film him. He ends up tragically or logically dying in an avalanche. And like my cousin, who's extreme climber, you'd say 6,000. He's done a bunch of 6,000
Yeah.
meter things. A lot of people have done that. He said he wouldn't watch it because he knew of him and he sees that there's nothing there in the eyes, no
Yeah.
fear. And I got a
Yeah.
feeling that Emio's got that.
Probably. Um, it seems like it because yeah, like the heavy injuries that he's had could send you like for example, we know Owen Wright has basically come out and said he's not surfing big waves anymore. Like he's not.
How
It's
long
not.
is that sustainable? One, I mean, it's great viewing for us. Seems a little bit reckless, but there's millions of people. No, there's not. There's not millions, but let's say there's 1,000 men and women on the planet that are taking risks like that, whether it's motorbikes, mountain climbing. We've got it in surfing. We've fucking got it in surfing, man. That's kind of not normal, and they obviously can't live without it.
It's definitely not normal, and it's definitely the same as the people who base jump and the people who um it's like it's like adrenaline seeking surfing. Like the the kind of hunger to see that forecast and get excited by it, not scared by it, they get just excited by it. There's not many, and he is very much top of that list of people doing it. Unreal.
Is social media and absolute uh, surety of being all the cameras there egging it on?
No, see that's the thing is I reckon someone like him does it no matter what.
Goes somewhere else where there's no cameras and still does that. He doesn't have to because that's where he lives.
Yeah.
But I, I'm not. Yeah, I got a feeling that it's egging him on. But that's part of
I think it would help egg them on in
human
terms of like
evolution.
yeah,
Seems
like
like.
it means that he can be in Chopu and say, for example, there's a massive swell in Hawaii and he sees someone like getting a huge wave, he can compete. You can almost compete with other people around the world easier and that would drive you to want to get like the clip and stuff. But I do honestly believe if you said to him like, "Oh, we're doing a camera blackout," he'd still be out there.
Yep. Well, either way, it was the heaviest wave that I've seen this year, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw
And technically proficient
yeah, you
un,
have to be. You have to be.
under duress.
Yeah. Literally, if anything in your technique not right there and you're yeah, you're meeting the bottom of the reef or the top of the reef. The
Aileen Vast got a toe in one too. Did you see that? Pretty big
yeah,
one.
yeah, I did. I also saw that Bryce Young had dropped some, or Need Essentials had dropped some Bryce Young clips, and oh Jesus, that guy is an unbelievably good surfer in unbelievable style. He's on this pink board and he's just going so fast with style and surfing like hard as well. Um,
Is that the one you sent me, which was a
yeah,
short wave clip? Yeah,
real
incredible
short.
speed,
Yeah,
speed, commitment.
yeah, yeah. Like, and just his clips, the opposite to Emio, his clips make me want to go surf, whereas Emio's make me want to. be nowhere near what he's doing.
Did you watch Harrison Roach?
No, I haven't seen that yet.
One of my favorite surfers,
Yeah,
listeners. He goes to Indo with a longboard, which he's world champ, a thruster, triple stringer, and a small twin. Fantastic. So versatile. Again, opposite to Emio, even really different to Bryce Young. So much smoother, so much more relaxed, so much more casual, but still world class.
yeah. And it's different styles and stuff. And like for me, I've got so much respect and I like watching Emio's clips, but I'll watch them and be like, whoa. But clips like Harrison Roach, like loads of ones he's done before that I've watched, and I need to watch this new one, and like the Bryce Young clips and the Bryce Young films and Torrent as well. They're what make me want to go surf. They're the ones where I'm like, oh, I need to go surf after watching it. Like they're what I will put on before a surf trip or during a surf trip as well.
It's crazy how many different aspects of surfing it is. We're so lucky.
Yeah. It really is because I was thinking about like when you think about other sports, like I played cricket growing up, and there's three formats of cricket, but it's only team like you literally it's team cricket. Like whether you like it or not, there's 11 versus 11, and it's competitive. You don't you don't get that side of it in like cricket or tennis or football or I mean even golf. You don't watch people play casual rounds. It's always the competitive rounds. And yeah, that's why surfing's cool.
Man, yesterday and globally, there's many of us that you just have a shocker of a day at work. Huh?
Yeah.
Um, it rained
Uh,
from basically 10 till 4. And I didn't have a single it was a Saturday, so it was a changeover day. I had people coming, and that was okay. But I was just sitting there. I didn't have a single person come. I had cleaning to do, and you just sitting there going, "How are you going to get through the year like this and everything?" And the surf instructor come back, this guy I know, and he was just like, "It's just pumping out there," but he was like, "It's offshore still. It's pumping." And there was no one. And I just said, I'm going surfing."
yeah.
And I cleaned up, locked the door, walked out, went to my surf garage, and I've got a 6.5 Bradley Lynx. It's not a mid length. It's just more of a round nose, rounded pin. Huh? We'll put a picture on the post, and I had those that you left me, Almeric plastic twins in it.
Oh yeah, the ones that whistle.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't know. With a small central fin. And by accident earlier in the morning, I'd seen these two lateral full fiberglass white Roxy fins that were in my car. And they're really old school, kind of a nearly like an Almeric template, kind of long to a tip.
Raked out. Yeah.
Yep. And I've like, I'll put them in there. And my center fin was off the S wings. It's kind of like a quad, nearly as small as a quad rear,
Right. Yeah.
a little bit bigger, with a bigger base too. So when I pulled up to the car park, I'm thinking, I'm not going out there on this unreal board with those plastic twin things. So I took them out and I put the Roxy ones in. The board went insane like that. Like
Okay.
it had release from the smaller center, and these the stiff fiberglass, best feeling fin you can have in good waves ever. And I've always said it is a full layered fiberglass fin, better
Yeah.
than any core or anything else. So much drive and power and release and from having the worst day ever work wise. No, it wasn't the worst day ever, but just having a really boring dud day. Like I was euphoric. By the time I got home, had dinner and everything, I was still shaking because I still have to bank that the waves were so good, like twice as good as Trestles. We got really good banks at the moment, like
I saw a
world
photo.
class, world class. It was pumping. Like I'm saying, like I'll say it again, pumping. And if you're in pumping waves on a board you love, a good board, like you gotta have a good board for pumping waves. Like I love mid lengths, I love this, I love that, or fishes or whatever. You gotta have a good, reliable board for good waves. A performance, even if it's a hybrid performance, it doesn't matter for that suits your standard. You can't go out on a big fat clunker on a when it's first pumping. Don't do it.
No, absolutely. Yeah, having a board that you know you can rely on. That having that one board where you look at it and go, right, the waves are pumping. You're not going to let this board's not going to let me down. The waves
Exactly.
are not going to let me down. And then I kind of had the same today. It wasn't pumping, but had one of those Sundays where it was raining here this morning and felt really like lackadaisical all day. Like been doing bits, but like not much. And then I literally just went on Surfline out of like almost like out of habit, and then just saw like I say the forecast was way off, but saw the cam and was like, oh, that could be like good fun. And I took my album 6-1 twin fin. It's like quite flat. It's like step deck, got quite a lot of foam under the chest. Really good for like smaller waves. It goes good in good waves as well, but it goes good in small waves. And just had like an hour and a half of just super clean. It was like coming up to high tide, so it turns into like a bit skate park-esque type waves and just running right-handers. And there was like on this right-hand bank, there was like me and like three other guys, and it was just so good. It came out just buzzing, just like changed
Bliss.
my day.
We've
Yeah.
had collective bliss. These three dudes that come to stay with me, and they worked at Google. Oh, two of them still do. And they sent me this message this morning. I think like, man, we had the sunset session that they've gone down for a drink on the
Oh, right.
beach at
Yeah.
the beach bar. It was pumping still till dark. Ran back, got their boards. Like two of them like intermediate, and the other guy dead beginner. And he even said he had the best session ever. They were so pumped that they then went out into town like people do.
No way. That's so good.
They went out, had drinks, got a bit of disco biscuit dancing happening, as you do. No, they didn't
Yeah.
have disco biscuits, which is old slang for a necky. I meant, they got their disco shoes on and had a bit of a boogie.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what it's about. Yeah,
So
like
what's our plan for the potty over the next we'll do for listeners, we'll do a Margaret's preview, but we'll wait till next week because we're a week out
yeah,
and I don't know what the forecast is and who cares? It was just such an amazing run through Burleigh there, I thought.
yeah. And locally here, we've not had many waves. We had our first little like poor spell where some wind set in, but that's switching at the end of this week as well. So yeah, waves on the way. Gonna be surfing more. Hopefully, some more free surf
Oh,
edits drop, and then yeah, Margies.
one more thing to talk about, which is handy because we got 5 minutes, is Laird Hamilton
I
on
haven't
that stud
watched
thing.
it.
Now, most people have watched and seen who Laird Hamilton is over all these years, and I've got a lot of respect for what he did. He had that Millennium Wave, which was, I remember seeing that thing and just like having a heart attack. But there's just something about the fact that everything about where he's going or that has to be about progression and who's the best
Hmm.
and all that I just don't know if that's what humans need to be doing.
No,
Why do we have to be non-stop progressing?
we don't. He
Do we
also
have to?
reminds me of a man who would mansplain something to a woman which isn't needed. Like he reminds me of someone who'd be at the gym and see a woman and be like, "Oh, this is how you're meant to do it" and stuff. Like no matter what, like the qualifications of that woman. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really resonate with him too much, if I'm honest. But um, yeah, we don't
He
always
went
have to progress.
he went head to head with Shane Dorian about that. And saying that, Shane Dorian didn't say hello to me either when he paddled past me one time at Lenore when they were jet skiing up the beach. They just get, I guess, they as leaders of athletic movements so wrapped up in themselves that
Yeah,
honestly, you know, I'm more impressed by the doctors that are in the middle of Africa or South America or wherever trying to help people
me
on
too.
their own back.
Me too. And also, we've got 3 minutes left, and I've got a Kook or Core, which is a good one because I've been asked to say it. Kook or Core, commentators calling Luana Silva Lulu.
Oh, fuck, mate. I'm glad you remembered this one. It's the most kookiest thing that exists. I want everyone, if we can. I nearly feel like let's start a petition. How is Joe Blow or all of us supposed to know or want to know that her nickname's Lulu? And why does Joe DePel have to say Lulu maybe 3 or 4 times in each
Sentence.
stint? Yeah,
Yeah.
nearly in each sentence. Lulu, 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 Lulu. Do they do that in cricket commentating or athletics?
No,
Can't you
no.
just say the name?
It's funny
What
because
is?
they don't use anyone else's nickname. Like,
Oh, yes, they do. They used to with the RCal and double E and blah blah blah. Just
I
say
was
their
gonna
name
say
in.
they don't really do it.
Pisses me off.
Yeah, see, I think they don't do it too much.
They
Like,
don't do as much, but they're on Lulu, and then Felicity will
yeah,
be Lulu, 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 Lulu. What are
yeah,
they? Are they, are they, are they part of a family or what?
it's mad. Unless she's asked for it. But to me, Kukul
Do you
Core
think she
is
sent a registered letter to the WSL and said, please, in commentary, call me Lulu?
that's the only thing I can think of.
Okay, so we're looking at a unanimous vote, Kook, for me.
It's Kook, yeah.
And I reckon our listeners think Kook too, if they've heard it.
I think so. And if you don't, let us know in the comments. Or if you
Yeah, if
do,
you think it's
fine.
unreal,
But it is, I
we'll
mean,
start calling her Lulu too. Let's even see if we can get her on the podcast.
yeah,
I'll say hello, Lulu.
yeah.
Never met her before. You just go straight into someone's nickname.
Well,
Cool.
yeah, that's kooky as
That
like,
is kooky. You
yeah,
start off, you wait till you've like climbed a mountain together before you start using a nickname, don't you?
yeah. I also want to start a petition against people crisscrossing their wax jobs. I absolutely hate it.
I do that sometimes.
I used to
Just
do
to
it.
kick,
Like I am
just to kick off, huh?
full
To kick
disclosure, I
off.
used to do it, and then I discovered that there's no need to do it.
Just
And
leave us alone, mate. We'll do what we want.
yeah, I'm so again when I see people with such it's when they're defined
No,
crisscross.
but I'm only doing it on a brand new
Yeah,
kickoff.
yeah, but when they're
All
like
right, we're running
defined,
out of time. Viewers, Matt needs to go and sit in the corner.
I need to
He's
go
going to
speak to
reflect on the crisscross watch. So thanks for coming, mate.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.